Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dom Vec podcast. Today, I have a new edition of the Connecticut High School Lacrosse preview series. Jason Pagano, a St. John's commit, and James Corry, an RTI commit, are on the podcast driving down the Merritt Parkway to Sacred Heart from St. Joseph High School in Trumbull. Hey guys, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. Excited to be on.
I'm doing good, thank you.
I appreciate it. So, who inspired you to play lacrosse?
So my dad inspired me. He played at UConn, and my uncle played at Georgetown, and he had a stick in my hand at a very young age. I started in kindergarten, and he was my coach all the way up to 8th grade until I started playing in high school. And yeah, he helped me through every step of the way, even with the recruiting process. He was always there for me, so definitely my dad.
I mean, no one specific really got me into lacrosse. I was playing soccer from like kindergarten to 2nd grade, and then my dad told me to stop playing soccer and just take on a new sport. So then, since 2nd grade, I've just been playing, just stuck with it.
So, how was your experience like playing youth lacrosse?
It was fun. Those were some of the best days that you think about now when you're playing in high school. Just like not a care in the world, just going out playing. Practices were fun. It was a great experience. Wish I could go back and do it all over again.
I mean, pretty much same. I play LSM now, but I had to play midi back in youth because I had to. No one else on my team really was into lacrosse as much as I was, and now just like I was playing club at Eclipse and I was playing pole, but like all spring I was playing midi, so I just like had to get back to that pole at coming into St. Joe's.
Do you think that helped you overall as a player, like playing, like now being at LSM, like that you're covering those people, like so it helped you overall your game.
Yeah, I think playing a little bit of shorty helped me with my footwork, like on defense, like growing up, but and like the amount of running, like my stamina has to be at like its peak for LSM, but so that really helped me.
So, what does the Eclipse Lacrosse Club mean to you, both of you, and how have they helped you grow as a player?
Means everything. I played 2 clubs before Eclipse. I've been with them for the last 4 years, but I was with Make a Wish and Rhino Lacrosse before they became Wolves. And before my recruiting started, like I knew I had to make a change, and Eclipse was the place to go. And Jamie and Coach K and Buzz, all those guys, especially Coach Bassey, have been big influences for me, and wouldn't change clubs for anything. Eclipse was definitely the place to be.
Yeah, Eclipse was my number one choice since like 3rd grade. My dad's friend from work told him to sign me up there because I was like the best program, and like being the only kid from Monroe on my team, like it was weird at first, and it still kind of is sometimes. But like I made a lot of good friends there.
Do you think it like puts a chip on your shoulder that like there's not a lot of kids from Monroe that are at the level that you are at, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, but like I mean, I'd love to like carpool with some kids going up to practice all the way in New Canaan, but it's nice just being the only kid and getting to know the kids from the other towns.
So, why did both of you guys choose to go to a Catholic school like St. Joe's instead of going to public or to a boarding school?
So I was in Catholic school from elementary all the way to middle school, so I stuck with it. And St. Joe's definitely offered a bunch of different things that my public schools from my town, Norwalk, didn't. And I fell in love with the lacrosse coaches from day one, and it was a great decision. I think it led me to a successful 3 and a quarter so far.
I never really thought about going anywhere else but Mass. Like I always like grew up like, oh yeah, I'm going to Mass. I'm going to play football and maybe lacrosse. And my parents introduced it to me, and I really didn't want to go there and like leave my friends. But once I got there, I really made a lot of really close friends that I'll have for probably the rest of my life. And it was just a great choice to do that.
And for both of you, is it like a cool dynamic for like to go to St. Joe's where there's kids from a lot of different areas?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm traveling to Shelton. Later, I'm going to Milford to hang out with my buddies. There's a couple kids from Norwalk, Jason from Monroe. It's a great dynamic knowing so many different people from so many different places.
And then overall, did you follow the St. Joseph's boys lacrosse program like when you were young, with all the success they have had?
Yeah, a little bit. Especially towards the end of middle school, I started following them when they started their state championship runs, and I was lucky enough to be a part of the three-peat. And I watched their first two from the stands, and yeah, it was great. It helped influence the decision definitely, just watching them play.
Yeah, when I was thinking about going to St. Joe's, I went to their state championship game in 2021, I think. And it was just like so electric, so amazing. Like I knew like as soon as I watched that game, I wanted to be a part of something like that.
So, Jason, how was your recruitment? What was your final schools, and why did you choose St. John's? And I can see you're in the main stage, so that definitely helped you a lot going to that.
Yeah, over the summer I went to a lot of different prospect days, a lot of different camps. I probably did a little too much. It was pretty exhausting, but I think it was worth it. It was a lot of stress, but I had to figure out a way to like deal with all that stress. My final schools were St. John's, Sacred Heart, Binghamton, and Rutgers. And as soon as I went on that St. John's visit, I knew that like that was a place where I really wanted to be. Um, just the coaches, they're so amazing. They're trying to do something and try and like be better and win, and that's really all I want to do. I just want to win. Campus is beautiful. They got a lot of nice. They have a nice educational like field, but we'll see. It's gonna be exciting. I'm excited.
What do you think? Obviously, it's a couple years out, but what do you think you're going to major there?
Like business or something. I don't really know exactly yet, but
And do you like that St. John's is like, obviously it's in Queens, but it's technically in New York City. Do you like that fact
yeah. I mean,
for
I
like
grew up in
networking
yeah.
and stuff like that?
I grew up in New York. I was born in Staten Island, so going back there is gonna be pretty awesome. I'm excited for that.
And then for you, James, how was your recruitment? What were your final schools, and why did you choose RIT in the end?
So my recruitment was very hectic. It was a long process. Like Jason actually committed before me, being a year younger. So I visited so many schools over the last year, D1, D2, D3. But when I went to RIT, it was an easy decision for me. The Coach Kuhn and Coach Whipple had me hang out with a bunch of the guys on my visit, and that's really what set it apart. They took me around campus, they took me around town, stuff like that. Made it feel like a brotherhood, made me feel at home, and it was a really easy decision after the visit, and couldn't be happier.
What were your final schools, if you can say, just a couple?
I like Tufts, I like Amherst. Sacred Heart was definitely one of them because of Coach Bassi being such a influential figure to me, and yeah,
Do you think the education definitely helped? Being like, I'm guessing, are you going to go into engineering or no?
yeah. I'm considering engineering and business. I want to try and mix the two up, like a business path of engineering, which would be really great. But definitely academics were a big influence in making that decision.
So last year, you played in Tier Two of the FCAC, finishing with a 16-5 record, and you made it all the way to the CIC Class S state championship, which unfortunately you guys lost to Weston. So how did you feel the season went overall, and what were your general thoughts?
It was great until the last game, but left a sour taste in all of our mouths that will definitely pump us up for this season. It's what we've been thinking about. It's what we're getting ready for. Trying to get back to the same place and change the narrative up a little bit. But successful season, good record, probably the best record in St. Joe's history. Uh, we have a tradition of winning at St. Joe's, and we did that up until the last game. And other than that, there's no complaints.
Yeah, James said it pretty much perfectly. I mean, not much you could ask for except a state championship. Coming out of St. Joe's, like tier two of the FCAC, it's pretty hard to win an FCAC championship there with all those powerhouse teams. But yeah, it was not just like a great year like on the like record, but like it was really fun. Like all the seniors that graduated, they just like made it so much better, and it was just like an exciting, like fired up team to be around.
How do you guys feel about playing in Tier Two instead of being in Tier One?
I think it's good and bad. Like sometimes it's hard to play the lower end of the tier two, just as that's what the reason they made it. But we beat a tier one team in Greenwich. That was one of our biggest games of the year. I knocked them out of state playoffs. So we proved to the state that we can be in that division, the tier one division. But it's good to play the two teams a year. They match you up against two tier one teams. We play Wilton and Ridgefield. Hopefully, we can get a win out of those two teams. We scheduled Greenwich again, so if we get a couple wins in those, they'll probably reconsider, maybe move us up. But we definitely got something to prove this year.
Yeah, we're right in the middle there. I feel like we're like a lot better than those bottom tier 2 teams, but like the top tier 1 teams, I feel it's just like really hard to beat. So I think we're in a good spot, but like James said, I think if we find a way to like win one of those tier 1 games with Greenwich with our at a conference game, I think that'll be really good for us this year.
So overall, what are your individual and team goals for this season?
So team goal is definitely to get back to the state championship, win it this year. Individually, I'm on pace and trying to beat the school record for points, and that's important to me, but not as important as just the dynamic of winning. So I would say our team goals are definitely put above everyone's individual goals every season, and our Coach Talbot, does a great job of like letting us know how we're doing individually, but most importantly, how we can be better for the team. And yeah, state championship. It's all that's on all of our minds.
Yeah, Coach Talbot does a great job with that, setting our goals at the beginning of the year, like getting 10 regular season wins, qualifying for the FCI playoffs, qualifying for the state playoffs, and then obviously in the end winning a state championship. But individually, I think I'm almost there for cause turnover record for the school. But that's obviously something that I'm gonna try and do. But again, like a state championship is like all I want.
And then overall, what has St. Joe's meant to you, and what do you want your legacies to be there?
It's meant the world. Like built so many friendships that I'll definitely have for the rest of my life. It's like Jay, a bunch of guys. I want to build a legacy just as a leader there. I don't want to be looked upon as like someone who was disrespectful to non-athletes, stuff like that. Coach Talbot named us captains yesterday, so he mentioned that.
Congratulations,
Thank
by
you,
the way.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
But he mentioned that he's like, you guys are the people that are the leaders off the field, because when we're on the field, they're the leaders, but when it's off the field, we're the ones who represent the program. And yeah, that's what we are definitely aim to leave our legacies on off the field more than on the field.
It's great that I'm gonna have a lot of like lifelong friends coming out of St. Joe's, like not really knowing anyone, but like as soon as I came in, everyone just like we all just became great friends. A legacy I want to leave is like James said, like a great leader. Like Talbot said, like if your best players are your hardest workers, you know you're at a good spot. And that's just all I want to be. I just want to be the hardest worker. I want to be the best leader. I want to just do everything right, the little things right, turns into doing the big things right.
And then just one final question. Obviously, now going into December, the season's coming along very quickly. So, what are you guys doing to prepare for this upcoming season?
Do team lifting and individual lifting with personal trainers. Me and Jason actually have the same one, Coach Raleigh at Fit Club. And just keeping the sticks in your hand every single day, just wall ball, all that stuff. It's just what's going to lead to success in 2024.
Yeah, pretty much same thing. Just like after school lifts, extra lifts after that. You just got to try and go to the field as much as you can. And like you said, keep your stick in your hand, stay warm, keep your legs warm, get faster, stronger, and just keep working.
Yeah, we also joined tournaments in the off season, like Six for Soldiers a couple weekends ago, and then reindeer games coming up for Jimmy McGrath. So we try to put our names out there, make a difference, raise some money while keeping the sticks in our hands and getting better.
So, thank you for watching this edition of the Dom Vec podcast in the Connecticut High School Lacrosse Preview Series. Thank you, Jason and James, for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Of course,
And
thank you.
Appreciate it. So, and everybody have a great day and hit the like button and subscribe for more sports content.